What's up, everybody? Akasan here, your red dreaded one. Just chilling on the weekend. It's the weekend before E3. Just got out of the shower, about to go to bed and get ready for my working weekend. As you guys, most of you know, I work over the weekend. That's why you don't get any little to no videos from me at that point in time. However, it is the weekend before E3 is coming up, and this has just kind of occurred to me a little while ago that I thought I'd kind of get this out the way before we get into a very, very hyped feeling of E3 trailer reactions or debut reactions, whatever you want to call it. I just thought I'd knock this one out. Today we're going to talk about the Elitist fan, or if you want to call it Elitist gamer fan, a little bit of both actually, and the over-exuberant Elitist extreme fanboy, if you want to call it. And you guys have heard me throw this word around, extreme fanboy, particularly with the DC side of things, particularly regarding BVS, Batman v Superman. But we're going to take it back a notch here and actually keep it more toward the gaming side of things, or just fandom in general. How it you sort of kill your own fandom, you kill your own product that you love so much by being a bit of a cunt. You could probably go ahead and just even label this How to Be a Better Fan Part 2, or Be More Than a Better Fan Part 2. I forgot what I called it a while back, but this is a video I actually made about a little more than a year ago, just around the same time E3 had come out or come and gone, and it was the same sort of thing. What ends up generally happening here is whenever E3 comes around, or whenever games or any sort of cult fandom sort of thing debuts, you're always going to get a lot of hype around it, and majority wise, you actually get fans that come to your channel or whatever, and they love what you're doing, they love your enthusiasm, and then they really want you to get on top of it and get into the game, and that's fine. But there is a minority that sometimes becomes a majority or so of these cunts that just really want to fuck it up for everybody. And it's very interesting to me because I can appreciate any sort of fan that's really enthusiastic about a product, but to go as far as to knock somebody else's enthusiasm because they like something but they just haven't been into it as long as you, well, that's becoming an elitist bitch. And the thing I find so ironic about this is I generally am not the kind of person that kind of takes these things serious. Because for me, I have lived quite a long time within this genre of anime and game situations. In the industry, I've brought product from Japan to these same people that are probably going out cussing me out online because they have no idea who I am behind the scenes in terms of bringing product over to North America. But over the years, I have been to E3, I've been at Anime Expo, I've done a lot of this, and I have dealt with these sort of fans for quite some time, and it always just it humors me. It humors me a bit that these same people, these keyboard warriors that are going to be trying to cuss me out and think they're better than me just because you've been playing a video game or been into a product for more years than anyone else. It just boggles my mind to really make it makes me sit back sometimes and be like, really? You think you're cooler because of that? Like, congratulations, you read a book. For example, if we're talking about Game of Thrones or something like that. Oh, congratulations, you read a book. You know more about the book versus the movie. Like that, right? It's like, oh, congratulations. Well, I was going around making something of myself, building a channel, moving to Japan, living here where these video games were created, especially within the Final Fantasy realm. You were up here just talking shit to people online and such. It's very interesting to me about this. And recently this has popped up a little bit more along the lines of Kingdom Hearts fans and Final Fantasy fans here. And it's funny to me because I generally am not the one to kind of, like I said, not bring a big deal out of this, because it's not for me. Like, I generally get a lot of this hate late at night when I'm getting my dick sucked or something like that, and I take a look at it afterwards, like, what the hell, what the fuck is this shit going on, right? Then I go to sleep, I sleep it off, and I wake up in the morning and I think about it, I'm like, nah, you know, and I know a lot of you fans, a lot of you in the Red Dreaded Nation, you get concerned about it. You get mad because people are calling me out or making videos like that. But I look around and I wake up in the morning and I think to myself, shit, why would I even care? Why is this even a big deal, right? I look around and I see myself getting on the train, getting ready to go to work, and I'm like, God damn, I live in Japan. There's a lot more good things going on. You know, I got the video stuff going on, the movie stuff, the YouTube stuff. There's a lot more I should be focusing my energy on. However, it did occur to me a little bit that because you, the Red Dreaded Nation, you are a dedicated fan base to me, and you do get concerned about this such, and you sometimes take my silence or me not replying to this sort of stuff as, you know, being that nigga to get rolled on, which is not the case. I just generally don't care if some fat fucker makes some video talking shit, even go as far as to call it a roaster. And yes, sadly, there are these fat fuckers out there making these videos talking about all this shit. They know nothing about my life, trying to be funny, making these videos to try to slam me or berate me. And I know if I don't respond to it, a lot of you feel like I'm getting rolled over. But again, I do want you to understand that is not the case. It's just not worth my reply or time or benefit for this channel and to you, the fan. I could name these fat fucks, I could name all these fuck boys out there doing this shit, but that would be taking the bait. And, you know, you've already seen what happened with Tyrone, and you've seen what happens with other people. You actually bring more attention. You're taking the bait. We're almost at 100K, guys, of subscribers. And this is going to continue. There's going to be much worse. It's not going to be over. These are people with insignificant little channels that are trying to do little things to just really rile me up and get the spotlight on them. Again, we saw what happened earlier with Tyrone taking the bait from Grade A, and I want to believe that you and myself are a little bit smarter than to do something like that and publicly put somebody out there just to start beef for the matter of beef. This isn't a beef situation. This is a lesson, and let's begin for the better benefit of you being a fan. And I flash back a bit to back in my day, to about a year ago or so, and I was saying exactly the same thing. You know, when I was younger, growing up and such, if there was a product that you were kind of interested in, or you saw just a little bit of it, that person in front of you would actually try to get you to get interested in it. They wouldn't berate you. They wouldn't say, what, you don't know what the fuck this is? I've been playing this since 1, 2, and 3. You don't know about number 4? No. They actually would, though usually the homie would actually let you borrow his game so you could get into the rest of the series. And it's very interesting with this elitist sense that has kind of grown up now toward this new generation of the internet age. People, for some reason, just expect everybody to have the time to go back and play all these fucking games if you weren't interested in the first one. The trailer for Big Booty Hearts number 5 comes out next Wednesday. Before you react to it, you better go play 1, 2, 3, and 4 Big Booty Hearts before you react to it so you know what you're talking about. Really, nigga? Get the fuck out of here with that. The entire idea of a trailer is to get someone interested in the product. I never played the first Assassin's Creed, but I loved the hell out of Assassin's Creed 2, mainly because I saw a commercial that appealed to me. The trailer appealed to me, and now I own a good amount of those games. it just sort of works like that. It reminds me of when the Force Awakens trailer came out, the second one, I believe, and I hate to put my homie on the spot, but my man Cooley, he went into one of his sort of speeches about how this is not for the new fans, this is for the old fans, this is for the old Star Wars fans, and I had to check him on that just a little bit, and looking back on that in retrospect, how interesting that all played out, considering the way The Force Awakens was really, really written for both new and old, but essentially to get a whole new generation interested in Star Wars while keeping the old one, getting the new fan base and the old one. Elementary, dear. Great marketing. No business in their right mind thinking, and I really, really need you extreme fanboys to think about this for a second. No business in their right mind would want you to go out there and talk shit to upcoming fans to get them to be turned off and not get invested in the product. You want to talk about how much of a fan you really are, how much you love this product, and how much you should love it too, or how come you don't like it as much. But what you're not realizing is that we're on the outside, the new fan is on the outside, the potential fan is on the outside looking in and being like, why the fuck would I want to even be considered part of your group? Think about that for a second. Just think about that. And like all things with art imitating life, I like to sometimes compare this to the way the political game goes. Just think about those Trump supporters out there. Just think about the Bernie bros. Just think about the fact that if you're on the fence and you're not really part of any sort of side, the way you look at a certain group and see the way those certain groups act, the moment you say you're not part of it or you're thinking about the other side, they flip out, they go berserk, they start giving you insults. Do you think that's gonna make you want to join that side? That's what I'm talking to those Trump supporters, to the Bernie bros. If you're acting like a douche, like a fucking cunt, like a fuck boy, do you really think that's gonna make me stop and think, you know what? I wasn't thinking about joining your group in the beginning. I wasn't thinking about being a fan, but because of that great action and that great behavior, you got me. And I know there's a few people out there right now grinning with a fucking smirk on their face just thinking about it. And I know there's actually people that's not the case in point they have with me or my channel or my reactions. I know that they feel that certain reactions should be a certain way based upon what they assume a reaction should be. But at the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, a reaction, a very honest reaction, is whatever that person feels their reaction is, whatever they're feeling at that moment in time. Nobody can dictate human emotion. Nobody can see why somebody would cry, laugh, smile, or just get pissed. Nobody really knows why. It's all about the emotion from the person on the inside. And if you have a problem with that sort of human emotion, well, I think you're going to have a really hard time just having relationships in general with people, in the real world and where I live. To these critical gaming channels and such, yes, I know you make your entire focus in business and content of your channel essentially reacting to gaming news and the bitching about what developers do and what they do or don't do, or DLC and whatever, so on and so forth. But, I know that reaction channels, a pure react channel and such, sometimes can kind of irk you or whatever, and maybe you might find something being fake in a reaction or so, just because it's not the type of reaction you would have, because you tend to know everything. But just in my opinion, instead of bitching about these sort of videos, maybe, just maybe, your fans might actually be interested in seeing you and your enthusiasm in the final product and what these developers have been presenting. Maximilian, Angry Joe, they've done it, and I think it's worked out for them pretty well so far. But then again, what do I know? I'm just the guy that people love to see look at other videos and get excited or get my opinion on. I'm just trying to come to you sensible and, hospitable and shit. On a side note, with the exception of some of the gamer community, some of the extreme DC fanboys out there, and some of the anime community, there are actually very good people out there that are interested to see people get involved in more product and what they enjoy. The K-pop community has always been very supportive. The Ruby community has been very supportive. So I encourage you guys to be a little bit more like these particular groups. If you really do like a product and you want other people to be interested in that product, and if you really want to showcase and be a better ambassador of your fandom, I just ask you to take this with an open mind and hopefully keep some of this to heart, okay? Y'all take care of yourselves, and I'm out. Have a good E3 experience. I'll see you on the reaction side. There's this story that I read, or maybe it was a porno, about a black dude in Japan, a prince or something. I don't know. This was years ago before, MySpace and Hi Friends.